People who lived out your sexual fantasies and regretted it. What happened? Live out a few, and honestly the reality is never as good as the fantasy. Group stuff in particular is just me in actuality, but also tried various forms of BDSM, sissification, chastity, diaper play, furry stuff. I could go on. It's never as good as you think it will be. At this point I've stopped trying any potential kinks I think I might enjoy, because then I'd have no fantasies left. Maybe I'm not actually as kinky as I like to think I am. Threesome. Tried it once, doubt I'll ever try it again. Though I was the dominant one in this case because the two others were complete subs and I just kind of I guess I'll be the top then. If I ever threesome again, I'll be a sub. Could also be due to I was still in denial of being trans and sex was just top because I'm expected to, because I'm a guy. There was a whole lot to be honest, and sex was just weird for me. When I was younger, about 16-17, I was really into older men, and I mean much older men. Had online correspondences with these guys and one developed into a relationship. He was 59. When it was happening I loved it. It wasn't all that good for the entire time. There were some moments where I felt like I was insane. After we decided to end our relationship I realized that I had developed some sort of trauma. So yeah, that happened. I had a particular interest in a pretend rape situation. Didn't know why, but my husband and I talked about it and we tried some role play. Did everything safely and all that. It was awful. It felt like the actual thing. We had to stop. I was depressed and suicidal, and it unlocked some memories of some related trauma from when I was a child. So yeah. Don't recommend that. I had a threesome with my ex-wife and one of her co-workers twice. The second time was better than the first. There was no eating while I was doing one of them. There was always some interaction between the three of us. It was amazing and I still think about it from time to time. It was amazing. My ex and her friend were adventurous. We had some drinks to loosen up first, fooling around with another couple out of town. She agreed to it but reserved the right to change her mind more than a year later. There was plenty of time leading up to it. She said she was agreeing because she thought that was what I wanted. Even though we specifically discussed it beforehand and even took baby steps along the way to make sure she was comfortable. I thought I was petty basic. I like soft things and therefore thought I could do things like thigh, foot, boob jobs. Turns out I have a stimulation issue and can only stay hard when masturbating or properly having sex. So lots of long times of nothing happening. Made sex dull unless there was role play. Cuddling was still great though. GF at the time and her friend decided they wanted to have a threesome. It was just me having sex with one of them until I asked them to switch out. Went on like that for a while. I imagine it's more fun when everyone is actually involved the whole time, not just a third person sitting off to the side waiting for their turn. I'm in my mid-20s. Fantasy of an older woman. Finally recently happened. She became obsessed with me. Like infatuated. I'm still dodging her texts. Like it was cool getting to live out something I've invested so many porn hours to, but the uneasiness in me being so creeped out made it not as worth it. I am 25, had a fantasy of doing anal with my girl. At age of 21 she tried, it was painful for her, as her asshole was so tight, got abrasions of my dick, couldn't pee comfortably, wasn't comfortable wearing underwear, had to apply coconut oil daily for 5-6 days. Could have replied while doing so. Wanted to try being ridden cowgirl on the shower floor. My dumbass didn't dry the shower down. Got ridden hard, wedged into an awkward position, with both of us stuck on the shower floor by knees and butt and back. Took 30 minutes to get back up again. I regret the bruises from the floor. Dated a porn star. Sex was unbelievable. She told me when we broke up no woman would ever satisfy me again. Unfortunately, she was right. Every girl I've dated since I've had to tell to just hop off and go home and have to jerk myself off. It's a curse. Well, the jello kept sliding off the squid and the clown said that they didn't have any mustard. So it wasn't what I expected. The worst part was when the gymnast accidentally knocked over the vat of fudge and got it all over my pretty princess dress. Dabbled in some light bondage with my now ex-wife. Dove into full BDSM after the divorce, then met my now sub-wife in late 2015. We couldn't be happier and the sex is still amazing after 7-1-2 years. Only regret is not getting into it sooner. I am 24, had a threesome with F19 F20. Had a child of surprise. Couldn't be happier with the outcome as a mother is awesome. Wish I'd known from the start though, not 6 months after baby was born. Felt awful not been there to support. I secretly wanted to sleep with an ugly co-worker, and then she started hitting on me at work. The sex was great, but then she told everyone I work with the week she quit, and everyone thinks I'm some pervert trying to fuck everyone. I'm a simple man, all I want is to tie up a woman and tickle her for hours until she breaks. Every girl who's agreed to do this was pretty made on being ticklish though. It's always kind of a letdown. The threesome was fun. I will note that the threesome is a fragile ecosystem, everyone should be on the same page and no one should be excluded. Mine worked out well for everyone involved. The only disappointing thing about it is that it will never happen again. It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing and now the door is closed. Sometimes I wish I didn't know what I'm missing. There was a guy here that described his fetish when he actually tried it. It's a crazy story. Some Reddit detectives should be able to find it and provide a link. My wife ended up thinking I cheated on her, which I didn't, so she made up accusations pretending our BDSM-heavy relationship was non-consensual. Pretending it's marital SA. The threesome with 2 guys was a thrilling idea. The end result was feeling extremely sore for the following few days and the guilt of acting like a complete slut. Worry face. Bought a dog cage for my girlfriend who liked the idea of being trapped and tormented. Even though we have a lot of similar kinks to that, it seriously was a letdown. Apparently even when women are informed that it's nothing serious and there are no strings attached, they don't appreciate being one of 4 in a daily rotation. Had sex with my friend's mom. Thought it would be intense and fun. But actually it was just awkward sex with a hairy, saggy, old lady. Had a threesome with 2 friends from the bar once. I finished way too early and got kicked out of the room for the next 45 minutes. Had a FFM. Wife left me for a woman after she decided she liked pussy better. In fairness, I think we're both happier now. Ended up in a 3-year toxic relationship full of nothing but sex and drugs and arguments that led to even more sex and drugs. It wasn't my sexual fantasy, it was ex-hubby's. We ended up getting divorced. I let it happen, so it's sunny too. Woman shrugging. Turns out anal sex is gross and I don't like it. Don't go knocking on poop's door and be surprised if poop is home. That one years ago where the guy posted about hiring Louise Hunter to shit in his mouth, can't be chopped. Orgy. Too much happening all around. Couldn't concentrate or enjoy much. One-on-one is better, I guess. Midlife crisis. Vegas X 12 times in 24 months. Nothing worth massing your family trust for. The sheer number of people here just talking about threesomes makes me feel like a whore. She slipped out of the tree and hit her head on a gravestone. Genuinely happened. I wanted to try the glory hole and I was assaulted in a sex shop video arcade booth. I am now celibate knowing there are so many freakazoids out there. I'm good, thumbs up. I shagged Winona Ryder but she got coffee in the sugar bowl. At breakfast, had a foursome with 3 guys. I was overwhelmed and could not enjoy it. Maybe it was the partners I had, but threesomes are not that great MFF. Chris Hansen came out of the bathroom and told me to take a seat. Had a threesome in college with 2 Brazilian girls. It was May. One got jealous because I was spending more time on the other. Just ended a long-term relationship without fantasy. Post-nut clarity and objects in your ass don't mix well. I didn't fantasize it enough before I start living it.